Hey guys, here we are counting down the final moments of our program. So congratulations for those of you that have stayed with us. We will have a finale call after this one. So this is our second to last training video / call. So I want to talk about and focus the rest of this session on recruiting. I know some of you have already gotten your first team members, and good job, congrats to you. Some of you are working on your second team member, and awesome, good job for you. And some of you have yet to get your first team member, and that's okay, because remember, this isn't a race, and we know as long as you're doing the work and you're doing the tasks, that those recruits are going to come. A couple of things I did want to share, and I forgot to get the stickers out, but I'll just tell you. In the Vistaprint, if you go to the Scentsy Family Store, and then you go to the new Vistaprint link, you will find that there are join stickers that say join my team for $99. I put those stickers on everything. So I highly recommend those stickers. Of course, you can also make your own. Some of you are very creative. Or if you go to avery.com, avery.com, they have lots of different templates. So you could actually purchase like blank labels at Office Max, Walmart, wherever. And then you can design and create, upload the Scentsy logo and print yourself if you want to play with that and print your own. But make sure you're putting these stickers on anything and everything that's going out, whether that's to your customers, when you're paying your bills, whenever. Another thing that I wanted to point out that I got through Vistaprint as well, I'll try to get this close here so hopefully you can see it. There's two I actually got. One has my return address. So it's got my, just where I live that I use for my return address, and has the Scentsy logo. And then this one here has my website, phone number, and my email on it. I use this one to put on the back of envelopes, like when I'm mailing bills, and I'll put like the $99 sticker. Sometimes I also include like the cent of the month scratch off stickers. But I make sure anybody and everybody is going to know that I am the Scentsy gal, and when they're ready to join the business, they join with me. So make sure you're doing that. Also, hopefully you guys, this is brand new. This is the new one that we just received. This is the join brochure. It's trifold. So you can purchase these. These are very nice, really professional, really beautiful, have all the content in it for joining. And I know many of you, or some of you, for extra credit, we offered you guys to create your own. A lot of people do make their own, custom and personalize it with them and pictures of their family and such. So just make sure you have this, so this is always being handed out to your customers and your customers' orders whenever you're bagging up your host parties, when you're doing events. You want to make sure that you are making it very known that you are working to build a team. So I wanted to share that. I know I referenced Mary Christensen quite a bit, and I realized when I got to my office today that my actual book I'm going to reference today is at my home office. And that is, again, a Mary Christensen book that I've talked about before, Be a Recruiting Superstar by Mary Christensen. What I have found to be true is, number one, when people are struggling with getting recruits, either they're not working, like they're seriously not having conversations, they're not labeling stuff, they don't have current join brochures, some of them don't even have current brochures, for goodness sakes. They're truly not making a concentrated, focused effort on building a team. The reality is, the more conversations that you have, the more opportunities you have to share the Scentsy opportunity. So you have to be out having those conversations, meeting people, putting yourself in positions to meet people. Other things that we know. I constantly see some consultants who they'll have like $2,000 in PRV a month, but they've had no team members in 6 months. So clearly they're doing a great job of getting in front of people, whether that's through their home parties, events, fundraisers. It doesn't matter what activities they're doing to get that PRV. But my question would be, why are they not then seeing any success in sponsoring? And when I have the conversations with those individuals, honestly, a lot of it is fear for them to ask. They're afraid to ask or bring it up. And the other reason is because they simply are happy with the idea of just making the commission off of the sales. For those that are first and they have the fear, well, of course, we have to address that. We're going to talk about that just in a little bit more too, and we have addressed that throughout, I know, our time before. But secondly, when you're focused on sales to make your commission, That is a really hard way to ever make a lot of money in Scentsy. If your why was to go on a second honeymoon, to make a car payment, to buy a new car, to quit your day job, if your why involved finances, then sponsoring is the activities you want to be spending a large portion of your time on, and not thinking about now in the moment on the 10th of the month what my commission check's going to be. It's going to be building that team so that as I have 1, 2, 10, 22 team members, I'm going to start seeing a lot more residual income that is going to get me to those places and those things that were in my why that were tied to finances. So it's through those kinds of conversations. Now, in this book, which I left at home, but I have notes, in this book, she has the top 10 ways to sponsor. One is allowing sponsoring time. Again, if you're so focused on booking parties, which is fantastic, you certainly need to be doing that. But if you are spending the only hour a week you have on booking parties, we have a problem, because you need to be spending equal amount of time on sponsoring through follow-up conversations, through sending out possibility packets, whatever it may be. It has to be focused the same amount of time on sponsoring activities. Create sparks. In other words, be excited, be passionate. When you're making contact with people, when you're handing over that customer's order, when you get a new product in and you go live on Facebook, create sparks so people say, oh my gosh, she just loves the Scentsy stuff so much. I want a piece of that. I need a happy place. I need something to get excited about. I mean, she got counter clean and she's excited to clean her cabinets. I want some of that. So create sparks whenever you come and go and are sharing anything related to Scentsy, so that they can see how and why they want to be a Scentsy person. You know, not the person who's constantly posting negativity out on social media, not the person that's constantly hating their life and everything that has to do with their life, not the person that's going in Facebook groups and being negative and finding all the fault and all the bad, but be the bright spark. Be the person that creates the sparks and leaves them. Okay, share the gap. So when you're talking to people and you're having conversations about what do they currently have now and what are they wanting, then you have the opportunity to help them see how they can fill in the gap to get from what they have now and what they want. When someone talks about, wow, I sure wish I could take my family on a vacation to Disney World. Okay, so currently now they have no vacation money. They want to take their family to Disney World on a vacation trip. Scentsy can be that vehicle. Not only possibly could they have the opportunity to earn an incentive trip, which could be paid for part of it at least, and sometimes we have family incentive trips, but also it can be the financial tool that they need to get them to get that gap from what they have now to what they really want. So find the gaps and help them see how Scentsy can get them their wants. Okay, go after successful people. This is really important, and I know sometimes people get really intimidated, but I can tell you in Scentsy, I have met, there's all walks of life in Scentsy. I have met people who are attorneys for their day job, who are police detectives for their day job. I have met people who are NFL cheerleaders. Some of them are married to ex-NFL football players. There's all walks of life that join Scentsy. Some of them have got more money than most of us could ever dream of just without Scentsy. They didn't join because of Scentsy, but they're extremely successful in Scentsy because they attach themselves and they have that inner being to be the best and the most successful at anything they do. And so those successful people will oftentimes, when joining our company, even if they say they're joining for a hobby, once they get the bug, they too, because of their personality, have to be the best at Scentsy. And that's a fantastic blessing and asset to your team in many, many ways. So don't be afraid. Don't spill all the beans. Ask questions. So what I say is when I've talked to some people when they're struggling with sponsoring, it's almost like sometimes they're vomiting too much on somebody right away when they meet them. You know, of course you're so excited and you know why they should join Scentsy and how amazing and wonderful it's going to be. But your first conversation with them, if you are like they're trying to leave because they need to get to a certain ride on time at an event or whatever, and you just keep spilling and vomiting this and this and this and this and this, well, it's all great, and I know you mean it and you're excited. You've now turned them off or been like, oh my gosh, this gal, she will not stop. That's just too much. Or it's just so overwhelming and all the things you're throwing at them, They don't need to know about the compensation plan in the first 5 minutes of having the join conversation, unless they specifically ask you about the compensation plan. In fact, that was completely irrelevant and would have been so intimidating to me at the thought of someone talking about that within my first conversation. So remember to keep it simple, get contact information, and then as you go, answer questions, find things to engage and develop those relationships throughout the conversation instead of just vomiting it all on them the first opportunity you have. Okay, make it easy for them to take advantage of. So, you know, again, the easiest thing right now is we're so blessed to have this Earn Your Kit. I mean, that's as easy as they come. They have a party, they have a good time, they have lots of fun. In this case, they can get their kit for free or reduced cost, and they still get all the host rewards. I mean, that truly is as easy as it gets. Another way, as we talked about before in one of the videos I know you guys watch, is set them up with a borrow bag. Let them take a borrow bag. Go ahead and collect orders and get stuff, and then that way when they join, they already have a qualifying party, and they're on their way to earning their kit back that way as well if they don't want to host a traditional home party. So you want to make it easy. I always make sure whenever I have joint conversations with others that I get their information and I do a follow-up. It was so great meeting you today at such and such's party. I wanted to send you the link, direct link to join my team on my website. Here you'll find the different kit options as well as some additional information about joining our fabulous fragrance company. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you're not understanding what I mean by direct join link on your website, then make sure you post that in the comments here, because this is critical, especially if you have a common name like Susie Smith, Michelle Jones. I mean, it doesn't even have to be that common. I know I've had people like Julie Barber. I mean, there's lots of names where there's 2 of you or more in the company. And so if they go on and Google search, that could end very badly. So we want to be sure that you understand what I mean by entering the direct link to your join page so they stay in there and they know that if they should proceed with the join process, to make sure it has your name, your picture, which will be reflected if you have your website updated with your picture, which I hope you do, and they will know that that's who they want to join with because it's going to ask them to confirm that. Okay, let's see. Make sure that you're offering the best prospects in advance the opportunity. Similar to what we talked about before, as far as hosts are the best prospects for team members, without a doubt. They love the product, they're going to have a party. You know, we can help them by host coaching and doing a good job to make sure they have a successful party, and then we flip that host with the Earn Your Kit. So they would be best. But other great prospects, nurses, the healthcare field are fantastic Scentsy consultants. They typically love helping people. They're typically good communicators. They are used to working with all different kinds of people. Those in the healthcare profession, nurses specifically, do fantastic in Scentsy. So keep that in mind. Another occupation that are naturals and do very well in Scentsy are teachers. If you ever have the opportunity to go on an incentive trip, I have no doubt that if you sit at a dinner table with a lot of consultants, there's going to be at least 1, if not more, teachers on that trip with you. Again, they just are very natural with their connections, their ability to be social and to communicate. They do very well in Scentsy. So think about that as well. Number 8, an offer that they can't refuse. Well, you know, some months we have $49. That's a fantastic month for them to join because it's $49. If they like Scentsy, they can spend more than that on a Stargaze warmer or on some of our warmers that are $50 or diffusers that are even more. So that to me is a no-brainer. When we have incentive trips happen, I mean, are you kidding me? You can earn an all-expense paid vacation to wherever we might go on our next incentive trip. And typically, how the trips are designed, newer consultants have an easier opportunity to earn those trips than those that are at higher levels in the company. So new consultants earn these trips all the time. I can give you lists of names if you need them to prove that. So just tell them why and how. Make them an offer that's just so irresistible that they want to join now. Give genuine compliments and give goodwill. And by this, I mean, you know, this comes naturally. Servers work very hard. I, unfortunately or fortunately, eat out a lot. And when I have a good server, of course, I tip very, very well. But servers are naturally, they're used to working long, hard hours. They're usually great as far as being, again, social communicators, very much in order. They're used to taking orders. They're used to having to be precise and such. Customer service skills, usually fantastic. And when you come across someone like that, oh my gosh, Susan, it's been a long time since I've had service this well. I'm a Sensi consultant. I don't know if you've ever considered it, but I think you would be tremendous on my team, and I would love to have you. You just are a natural. You know, if you find yourself, I mean, this is real. I mean, I'm telling you to be real. When you have a great experience, a customer service experience, an encounter observing or watching someone who's really good at what they do, pay them the compliment. And then don't be afraid to say, oh my gosh, have you ever considered selling Sensi? Because you would be terrific. You would be fantastic. And I would love to have you on my team. So next, number 10, never fear rejection. Again, this is a biggie. I know for some of you, it is so hard for you to overcome this, but you must. You simply must. If you want to be somewhere different than you are now, this is one you have to make a priority to work on and to really overcome. If I had a package of gum, which I commonly do in my purse, and I ask the person next to them, would you like a piece of gum? And they say no, okay, so it's not a big deal. And you know what? The next ball game when I'm sitting next to them and I see them, I'm going to ask them again, would you like a piece of gum? They may say no. They might say, oh, yeah, sure, thank you. You know, I'm going to keep asking them if they want a piece of gum when I see them, because I want to give them the opportunity to have a piece of gum, or in this case, to join my team. They may say no the first couple of times, but that third time, the circumstances might be that, yeah, they want a piece of gum. So you have to work your way, find your way to overcome the fear of asking and the fear of rejection. I know it's real, it's genuine, I get it, and I can assure you there are a lot of people that have conquered it with Sensi, starting with Heidi Thompson, our owner herself. When I first saw her on stage back in 2009, her body was physically shaking on the stage. And I'm not exaggerating when I tell you, physically shaking. You could see her body, didn't matter how far back you were sitting, shaking on that stage. The thought of speaking or even having her picture taken was terrifying to her. And yet you look at her today, and I'm not saying she's comfortable, because she'll tell you now she still is not comfortable talking in front of people. But she made it a priority. She made it a priority to work on that, and she has accomplished it very successfully. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope it's been encouraging. I hope you guys are ready to go out, keep sharing, keep working your business, making it a priority. And as I said, we'll have one more call, and then we're going to be good to go. You guys are going to be trained up, have everything you know and need to find the ultimate success in this business, and I am so excited to be a part of it.